I'm and the title of my speech is Why I Gave Up the Internet for 1 month. I'm actually going to start with a game. I want you guys to put your heads on the desks. I'm going to ask you 3 questions. Right, go. Okay. Alright, put your hand up if you think that you use the internet too much. Interesting. Okay, hands down. Hands up if you think that you use the internet the perfect amount. Okay, put your hands up if you think that you could actually use the internet more. Okay, you can get up now. The reason I'm asking this is because in late 2014, my life wasn't really going the way I wanted it to. I felt really boxed in by, I guess, life, and I felt like I wasn't doing the things that I wanted to do, and I just wanted something that I could maybe draw from. And then I watched this TED Talk. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with TED Talks, by a guy named Paul Miller, and the title of his speech obviously is A Year Offline, What I've Learned. And as I was watching this, the stuff he was saying really resonated with me, and one of the main big kind of questions that he asked was, how does the internet use me, and how do I use the internet? And how does it dictate my behaviour, what I do in my life, the choices that I make? And it kind of got me thinking. I remember pausing it and going, wow, that's really profound. You know, I've never really thought about how I use the internet before, and it started to click with me. And he also described how the first day he pulled the plug on the internet, he said he woke up, and as he was walking around, he said he felt, and this is a quote, he felt high on life. And obviously this being a time in my life where things weren't going the way I wanted them to, you know, you can imagine that's going to resonate with you. So I decided to give up the internet for 1 month, and I picked April, only because most of April was spent on holidays, and I felt it was more of a challenge. And I pulled the plug on March 31st, 2015. And I remember very distinctly waking up on the first day, in April 1st, you know, after weeks of being quite scared, because it's something that you've never done before. And I was really scared. But then I woke up, and I actually felt really great. I felt freer, and I felt like now I can do the things that I want to do, rather than things that maybe I've been told to do. And throughout that month, without the internet, life was a lot simpler. I ended up actually doing a lot more, like reading, writing, that kind of thing that I wanted to do, that I've been putting off. And I felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders because I wasn't using the internet. And it really was what I was searching for. And a distinct thing that I got out of that month was I deepened the relationship with me and my little sister. It's called Sina. And I remember I'd wake up and have breakfast, and we'd go out and watch Friends. I actually finished the series. And it was a really precious time that I spent with her, and I'll never forget that. And I don't think it would have happened had I not given up the internet at that time. So to wrap up, I'm not a hater of the internet. I don't think it's really like an evil or whatever. I think it's actually amazing. And one particular thing that has been directly made better in my life by the internet is once a week I have a Skype chat with my grandma, and I record these conversations so that when she eventually passes, you know, I can remember her. And these conversations are really precious to me, and I can only thank the internet for the time that I spent talking to her. And yeah, life is about balance, and I think that applies to the internet. Yeah. I'm going to end with the same game. Okay, so heads down. Alright, put your hand up if you think that you're now going to try and use the internet less. Okay, hands down. Put your hands up if you think you're not going to change your internet usage. Okay, hands up if you think I'm talking absolute garbage and you're not going to do anything, you're going to use it more. Okay. Alright, that's it, I'm finished. Thanks. Questions?
What would you say is the worst aspects of the internet?
Ooh, tough question. I don't know, I guess it depends on each person. I don't know. I think just overusage is the worst thing about it. You can get like, you know, when you're on YouTube and you can like, when you know you should go to bed, but there's like, oh, there's another video. Oh, there's another video. And then, you know, maybe that's the worst. Yeah, Sam?
What was the thing that you missed the most in your life?
Well, I guess communication with friends, you know, because they were all talking to each other. I was kind of just like the loner on the outside. He wasn't doing anything, being weird and getting on the internet. Yeah.
Do you think people making a living through the internet are really living their lives, or is it all fake?
Well, I don't presume to know. I don't know these people, you know, but you know, if that's really what they have a passion for, there's nothing wrong with it. You know.
When you said you felt free, what exactly about the internet did you feel free from?
Good question. I felt that when I use the internet, I used it quite a lot. Like most times throughout the day, I would be on it, and I don't know. It was kind of just. Maybe you can all relate to this. You know, you put up a picture on Instagram, or you put up a Snapchat story, or you put a picture on Facebook, and kind of throughout the day, in the back of your mind, you're always going like, oh, how many people have liked it? How many people have seen it? Who's liked it? All this kind of stuff. You end up worrying about that. And even kind of when you're talking to people, you still got that in the back of your mind. Whereas, you know, I didn't have that. I didn't have any pictures up. I didn't have any stories up because I wasn't using it. And that's quite freeing.
Do you think the internet affects your free will?
I don't know. I guess if you're addicted to it, then maybe, because you feel like you have to go on it, otherwise your life's going to be bad. I think most of us, I don't think it does. I don't know.
Did you like go up the internet completely? So like, I use it for small things at times, such as Spotify, using Wi-Fi through that. But did you give up like everything?
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
Do you think that society is growing too much of an independence on the internet?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of people in the world who use the internet, and I can't speak for all of them. But I know personally that I thought I was getting quite dependent on it.
When you gave up the internet, you said you felt less pressure. Do you think that was a lack of social pressure, or kind of like a pressure, or like an addiction to the internet?
A bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm not a big user of social media, but it definitely felt like there was less pressure there. And yeah, just knowing that when you get up, it's like, you know, today I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to do things I want to do. And I'm not going to let any of stuff out there going to affect me.